Cool. Okay, I'll try and be quick, and thanks a lot for inviting me. This is great. It has been great to see the different projects and speakers virtually as opposed to having to travel. Uh, okay, so ifWhenThen is basically the future of employment in the non-formal education market ecosystem. And so one of the major problems that you're seeing in the world is that 66% of higher education students think that they're learning the wrong skills. And what this is doing is it's driving a shift of movement. So there's been a 13% decline in higher education enrollment over the last 6-7 years. So students are going somewhere. And we think there's a global shift and obviously a huge market potential in non-formal education. So just by looking at some of the figures, just extrapolating some of the market figures, is formal education, people spend around 4.3 trillion globally, and non-formal maybe 1.2 trillion. And so we think there's going to be a shift from formal to non-formal education, and just a 1% global GDP shift is worth about $780 billion. So this industry, this sector is going to grow quite a bit. And we're positioning ourselves to help people sort of find these new pathways to skill development and jobs. So our mission is to organize the non-formal education programs for an evolving job marketplace. And you can get all this information on our website or contacting us, and we'll provide you the details later. Basically, our core purpose is to facilitate global employment outcomes in non-formal education. People go to formal education because when I say formal, I'm talking about universities and things like that, because they'll get a job. Well, what if we're able to create some kind of system where if you go to non-formal education that takes less time and gives you an opportunity to connect to these high-paying jobs later on. So this is what we're trying to do. And by creating new employment outcomes in non-formal education, we can grow the sector. So our initial target is Central and Eastern European students. We're targeting non-formal training programs in tech and creative industries, and we're going to connect them to global employers. So we're going to create this alignment between students, training programs, and employers to create more and to lower the, obviously, knowledge gap. So what's our solution? Well, the first thing is the non-formal education is very fragmented. So we should introduce a competitive ranking system with different reputation factors. And by doing this, we'll be able to establish, students will be able to cut through the noise and establish who are the best training programs that are going to provide me, who are the best training programs and trainers, and going to provide me with the best employment outcomes. So really, we're going to help identify the leading and emerging training programs and help them grow. By doing this, we're going to create a huge graduate pool in the Central Eastern European region. And this is going to give employers an opportunity to identify the talent in the sector in high in demand skills and to provide them with internships and jobs and whatnot. So employers are going to provide sort of pay a subscription model where then they can then access these this. And of course, we think, you know, the future of employment is in the non-formal sector, more so than the formal sector. And the reason for that is because it's just more responsive. It's able to change. So if you look at blockchain developers, which is going to be one of our main focuses at the beginning, you look at the growth for the job postings over the last few years, it's just spiked in the last couple of years. How is a formal education system, the big universities with the giant gates that they've created, able to adapt quickly? They're not going to be able to. So by introducing a competitive ranking in the non-formal system, we're going to be able to sort of dynamically align employers, students, and communities. So the IF token is going to be a token for the non-formal education marketplace. And we're going to use different types of utility and incentives to align everybody around this purpose of creating more jobs for people and giving people more access to education that leads to a good job. So our white paper is coming soon, and we will tell you more about it. We're almost finished. One of the things is we started with our market research, so we have strategic community advisors that are incentivized with tokens all around the Central Eastern European region. We already have more than 80 partners and 5 strategic partners. We have a full team, CEO, CMO, CTO. Our CTO was at a Fortune 100 company before as a lead architect. We have a really strong board of advisors, and you can reach out to us anytime at ifWhenThen 00 on Telegram, or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or Medium. Yeah. So
awesome.
we're actually in the process. We're in the process of looking for strong strategic investors who have a passion in platform business models, marketplaces, and obviously EOS. And so you can reach out to us anytime.